Hello, chat. Today we're back with Tuesday Talks. Thank you so much for the support on this series so far. I didn't think people would like it, but it's like kind of been doing okay. I really appreciate that. A lot of people have said that they like it, they get something out of it, and that's like literally all I ever want. So today we're going to look at something that I personally find interesting, which is some principles from existential humanistic therapy. This is a type of therapy that combines existentialist philosophy as well as humanistic therapy, but it's built off of person-centered therapy. So you know what's best for your life, and the therapist kind of focuses on making it so you can do whatever and not get in your own way. So it's built off of things like unconditional positive regard, where you give the client some actual good feedback, because most people don't have that. There's four main principles when it comes to existential humanistic psychotherapy, which is meaning, freedom and responsibility, isolation, and death. So meaning is obviously just like what gives your life meaning. Freedom and responsibility is, what do you have control of, and gives like the Jean-Paul Sartre? I'm saying Sartre. Somebody correct me in the comments. Engagement bait. Sartre, where it's, you have complete freedom. Isolation, which the main tenet here is that you can never really be connected to anyone, and nobody's gonna know the real you or understand your life. However, you are connected to everyone in a certain way. Nobody's gonna know your life from the start of when you first are born or the experiences that you have. Nobody can even see your same subjective world. However, people come and go into your life and you connect to them in certain ways. You're isolated in a sense, but also connected to other people. It's hard to explain it. I'm not gonna get into the philosophy of that too much today. And then death, which is a universal fear everyone has and what you have to reflect on. They're big on reflecting on death. So I decided to kind of get some reflection questions and think out loud my feelings on them, and kind of see maybe some issues or new concepts that I can think of as it relates to existential humanistic psychotherapy, because I think that these are really good ways to understand yourself and your meaning in life. That's kind of the whole point. And if you guys don't know, I have struggled with meaning in my life for years. So I just Googled existential humanistic therapy questions, and I'm gonna go through a little bit of them. So the first one under meaning is what gives your life meaning. I would say the major things that I think of when it comes to things that I feel really strongly about, or things that make me feel like I'm living the life I want to, is first off, helping people through dark times and listening to stories, which is why I want to be a therapist, because those kind of coincide. In terms of just things for myself, making any kind of project, anything that gets me to think deeper about life or understand things in a different way is something that interests me and makes me feel like I can keep going on. So those are my major things. In terms of am I doing anything to reach those? In terms of helping people, I definitely am. Learning things for counseling. I have a lot of friends that I've been taking care of over the last few months. I definitely can be doing more, but I can always say that. I think that I'm pretty fulfilled in that regard. In terms of stories, it's a mixed bag. Some days I enjoy some media that makes me think a little more. Other days I just kind of consume mindlessly and don't really think too much about it. And I also haven't been able to tell any stories or make any projects, which that's the last thing that gives my life meaning, which was making projects. Now why? What is holding me back? The most common thing is I feel like it's not going to be good enough, which I know is wrong, because my community and everyone has said that it's really good and there's people who watch it. My mind has a filter where it's taking objective. I'm not this isn't me bragging, it's there are people who enjoy my stuff. But I don't know why even just then, like, I couldn't even say that without filtering it. Like, I can't say, oh, my stuff is good. I have to qualify it with according to others. Why do I have to do that? Because it's their subjective opinion, and I don't deny other people's subjective feelings. I'm denying my own feelings over my own projects. Why do I feel like I'm not allowed to like the things that I make? Is it humility or is it inferiority? I don't think it's humility, because I feel ashamed. If it was humility, I would be able to do stuff. People think that my stuff is good enough, but why do I not think that? What stops me from liking the things I make? I don't think it's because I don't think that I put in effort. I put in some effort. Really, it's like I hold myself back before I even start. Am I afraid that if I like put in my full effort, then it wouldn't go well? It'll like prove that I'm not good enough, which is not the case, because anytime that I keep doing things, I get support. Like, it's not, even when I'm like not trying, the quality is enough where I'm growing. At this point, at least. I know, like, as I keep posting, then the more support that I get, the more I feel self-assured so far. I feel like in the last year, I've grown a lot in confidence when it comes to my singing, being able to say my opinion, my own content, my ability to entertain. So then, if by continuing to do this, I'm going to gain confidence, what would the problem of me not having confidence be? And that would just be holding myself back in terms of being consistent or certain projects. So this goes back to what I said last week of, I'm not going to feel like I'm good enough unless I just do it and show myself like, oh, it's not that bad to post this. There's a concept in therapy called should statements, where there's a lot of things that people tell themselves like, oh, I should go to the gym, I should talk to my family more, I should have a girlfriend, I should have had kids or been married now. Things like that, where it's this expectation that you force upon yourself. But a lot of the time those are not realistic and ways to put yourself down. My therapist says that anytime you tell yourself, I should do something, just don't worry about it, because who cares what you should do? What do you want to do? So I'm not going to feel confident or self-assured in my content right now. I am taking steps to do that though, in terms of uploading and seeing the feedback that I'm getting and slowly pushing myself to take more risks in terms of posting things that I want. So I think I am making progress when it comes to meaning. I think my original thought at the start of this was that I wasn't, but I am making progress. It's just maybe not as fast as I want. Originally, I thought of that question a little too black and white. I feel like I had thoughts of like, oh, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z, which is why I'm not contributing to my meaning in terms of projects. However, those may be part of like my meaning, but just because I'm not doing X, Y, or Z doesn't mean that I'm not contributing to it. They're sufficient, they're not necessary. I'll move on to the next one. Is there anything you feel you owe yourself or others? Quickly, just looking at time, I'm only gonna do the meaning section right now. I'll do the other questions next. So in terms of what I owe others, I think that I push myself in ways that are unrealistic. I definitely owe others a lot, especially people who I talk to online. They have done so much for me, and I am eternally grateful. And I really beat myself up for not reaching out or finding ways to support them. But I think I'm slowly getting better at that. Just not as fast as I want to, funnily enough, again. I've been getting better at reaching out to people. I constantly would get in the way of myself and be like, oh, people don't want to act or talk to me or have to deal with me, but a lot of people have expressed interest in talking to me. So I've been getting better at reaching out to mutuals. And in terms of what do I owe myself, I owe myself more forgiveness. As much as I hate that, I've had Many people tell me I'm way too hard on myself, which is funny because I don't think that I'm hard enough on myself, funnily enough, but I do see their point at times. Allowing myself days to not be what I expect myself to be, allowing myself to lower my expectations of myself just in general. What's one thing you hope to do or accomplish before you die? Jeez. This is why existential humanistic psychology is hard, because it's really reflective and blunt. What do I want to do before I die? Right now in my mind, I'm thinking like a few projects or things I've always randomly like been like, oh, it'd be cool to do this, but my mind is instantly being like, you can't do that, or that's being unrealistic, or you're gonna say this and then not do it, and then chat's gonna laugh at you, which are all thoughts that are their purpose is to make it so I don't do it. And that goes back to me not believing in myself. So I need to just say them and be fine with not achieving them or not making progress on them as fast as I want. Chat, that's one thing that I want you to take home is don't accept your thoughts at face value. A lot of the time your thoughts are there to put you down or keep you from doing things, make you be comfortable. So what are things I want to do? I want to make a cover that I'm proud of. I think that the covers that I have made are okay, but not something I'm super duper fond of. I want to get to a point where I listen to a cover of myself and I'm fine with adding it to my playlist and not feeling like an egotistical person. The other project that I want to do is I want to make some kind of story. I don't know what form specifically. It could be a video essay, could be a visual novel, but I want to be able to talk about my experience with life, which is very broad, but I want to touch on things like personal identity, self-doubt, isolation, things like that. My last big accomplishment, which I don't know if I'll ever get to in life, is I want to get to 100K subs, which sounds insane when I say it out loud. It feels insane. It feels unrealistic, but I mean, I thought it was unrealistic to think that I would get 100 subs in a year. Or that I've had multiple videos, well, not videos, like shorts at 1K views, or videos over 300 views. Even if it may seem unrealistic now, I gotta just keep going. And I think the more that I think about the reason why I think it's unrealistic is because I don't think that I deserve that support, which goes back to the whole crux of the issue, which is just, I need to do it. I need to remind myself, people think that I'm good enough. Deep down, I know that I'm good enough. I'm gonna table the next 3 major things, which was extreme responsibility, isolation, and death. I think that those I can talk about in another video. I've already been recording for like 30 minutes. Yeah, it has been a week. It has been a rough week for me. I'm here and we're gonna keep getting through this. We're gonna keep going on, one day at a time. Okay, chat? One foot in front of the other. I'm gonna keep going and I hope that you are too. Thank you so much for 100 subs, by the way. I am going to do a Q&A in the Discord or leave questions in this video, and I will get to them as soon as possible. Not this week, maybe next week. We'll see how it goes. Also, how many questions there are. So send a lot of questions, please. Huge shout out to Yuki Rose. I'm gonna leave her channel in the description. If you guys don't know, I wanted to do videos like this for the longest time. The first video on my channel, which is now privated, was something like this, but I doubted myself. I did a few other ones, but the main reason why I keep doing these is because of her series and stuff like that. And go show her some support. She's on hiatus right now, so show her some love so she can return and have some support from the best community, which is the Lost Souls. Sorry for taking a day off of Tuesday Talks again. Yesterday, I could not do it. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I hope you got something out of it, and see you later.